Today is Sunday, January 28th, 2024. Hello, today is Sunday, November 24th, 2024. All right, so this will be my 40th injection, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So this is the last shot of my 10th box. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are on the 40th week. I'll also be giving you a 40-week update once this is over. 5 milligrams. I spent the first 4 weeks on 2.5 milligrams, and the rest of the time, this will be the 36th injection of 5 milligrams. I am on maintenance. I have not had any side effects or any injection site reactions. Things have been going pretty well. So last week I did the right side. I'll be doing the left side today. I take the alcohol pad, wipe the area. These come in a locked position. I do not unlock it until I have this pen against my skin. So take the cap off, put it on the area, then I unlock it. You're gonna hear a series of 2 clicks, one letting you know things are getting started, the second letting you know it's over, and I'm gonna wait a few seconds. So here we go. That's the first one. That's the second one. Wait a few seconds. And just like that, we're done. I'm checking to see if I have any blood. Last week I had a tiny bit, but just a tad bit. Okay, I'll be back for the update. Like I said before, today is my 40th week of being on Zepbound, and I'm really excited. For me, this is a long time of being consistent. I can't think of a time regarding fitness and health and stuff in my life where I was consistent this long. In the 40 weeks that I have been on Zepbound, 38 weeks of those I have been strength training consistently. What I'm going to do is start off with my whole food plant-based diet. I'm a vegan, and if you've been here before, then you know that I am big on letting you guys know that being a vegan doesn't necessarily equate to being healthy, and I was a very unhealthy vegan. When I started my journey in February, I was determined to make changes, and not just changes to get to a certain number, but I went into this with, this has to be different. I have gained and lost, gained more, lost, gained more and lost. I just didn't want to have that happen again. When I initially started looking up information about Zepbound, I was combing the Zepbound subreddit. I was looking at different content creators on YouTube and trying to learn from their experiences, because one thing that I did gather is that everyone's experience is not going to be exactly the same. I went in with the mindset that I was going to be eliminating ultra processed foods, and I was going to increase the amount of water that I was drinking, because that was kind of non-existent. I drink a lot of fluids regularly, but it wasn't water. I was drinking a lot of lattes, energy drinks, sweet tea, everything else. It may be a little bit of water, but I was primarily drinking those other drinks. So when I started this journey, based off of the information that I saw, I knew that I wasn't going to. And something really quickly about me, I don't necessarily do moderation well. And I have had this, not even intentional, but this mindset of all or nothing. So when I would start something, I would start off doing so many different things and not be able to keep them up because they weren't sustainable. So whenever I would miss one thing, so let's say I have a list of 5 things, I would miss one thing and that would be it. I didn't want to do that to myself this time. So I had been on a whole food plant-based before, and this was in 2020 when I had a health scare and I, made some changes. I knew that when I ate that way, I felt great. So I knew that, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this medication and the ability for it to curb appetite, and I'm going to eat this way. I started off with that. I was taking a picture of every single meal, everything, whether it was, something as simple as a bowl of fruit or some tortilla chips or whatever. I made sure that I took a picture of everything. And it's so funny when you get used to taking a picture of everything, you want to be mindful of what you're putting in your body, because I didn't I didn't want to have to take a picture of some crap and put it on there. 2 weeks into my journey is when I decided to incorporate movement. The YouTuber that I was following at that time was Strong Sisters United. The beginning of my journey started with using those exercises. Once I completed that, I had been talking with 2.0 Mommy, and she had mentioned Lift with C. And I was like, wait a minute, I was going to do her programs before, but I saw Strong Sisters United and I went ahead and started with that. You know what, let me revisit. So I went back to Lift with C and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the compound. Because I am a fan of strength training. I like the way that it makes me feel. I don't have that fear that some people have of getting bulky. First of all, I don't train like that. I don't eat in a way that would even support being bulky or anything like that. So I decided, okay, I'm going to do the compound. After I finished the compound, I switched over to her playlist that has 20-minute workouts. And there were a total of 30, doing that 5 days a week. That made 6 weeks. So I just finished that a couple of weeks ago. And now I'm doing the compound again, and I just finished my full first week yesterday, and that is going well. There are several people that are also doing the compound. 2.0 Mommy is doing it, as well as some other members in the community, and I think that's really awesome. Just having that thing that we were doing together. Something that I'm asked pretty frequently is how much protein I get. We'll go to Monday. I started off with banana oatmeal pancakes and a side of fresh strawberries. Meal number 2 was asparagus, tofu, and corn. Meal number 3, tofu, asparagus, and broccoli. And then I finished my day with peanut butter and blueberries. So that day I had 1,806 calories, and the breakdown of that was 122 grams of protein, 224 grams of carbs, 58 grams of fiber, and 50 grams of fat. We go to Tuesday. I started off with banana oatmeal pancakes. Meal 2 was tofu, broccoli, and corn. Meal 3 was quinoa, broccoli, mushrooms, olives, and tofu. Meal 4, peanut butter and blueberries. So that day I had 1,796 calories, 119 grams of protein, 226 grams of carbs, 54 grams of fiber, and 48 grams of fat. Wednesday, I started my day with quinoa, tofu, mushrooms, and Kalamata olives. Meal number 2 was peanut butter and blueberries. Meal number 3, asparagus, quinoa, and tofu. And then I finished my day with some banana oatmeal pancakes. So that day I had 1,836 calories, 125 grams of protein, 227 grams of carbs, 47 grams of fiber, and 51 grams of fat. Now we move into Thursday. Thursday I started off with quinoa, tofu, mushrooms, and Kalamata olives. Meal number 2 was asparagus, tofu, and quinoa. Meal number 3, banana oatmeal pancakes. And meal number 4, peanut butter and blueberries. The meals for that day came to 1,830 calories, 118 grams of protein, 226 grams of carbs, 47 grams of fiber, and 54 grams of fat. Then Friday, which was my birthday, I started off the day with quinoa, tofu, mushrooms, and Kalamata olives. My second meal was peanut butter with fresh strawberries, a banana sliced up, and frozen blueberries. Meal number 3, asparagus, tofu, and quinoa. And then my fourth meal was banana oatmeal pancakes, and then I had my little candles on for my birthday. I turned 47. On Friday, my meals came to 1,820 calories, 116 grams of protein, 234 grams of carbs, 47 grams of fiber, and 52 grams of fat. And next we have Saturday, which was yesterday. I started off with peanut butter, fresh strawberries, and a banana sliced up. The second meal was asparagus, quinoa, and tofu. Meal number 3 was broccoli, chickpeas, and quinoa. And meal number 4 was peanut butter and blueberries. That day I had 1,815 calories, 148 grams of protein, 202 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fiber, and 51 grams of fat. So that is what a week of eating looks like for me. I like consistency. I do well with it. And it doesn't feel repetitive to me. The only thing repetitive about it is, I guess, taking pictures and sharing it, because I know for you guys, it's probably, you want to see something exciting, but you know, consistency is not always this exciting thing. I'm showing you, my real life experience. Now, let's talk about the current workout routine. I am doing the Compound by Lift with C. And if you've not had a chance to check her out, I encourage you to just go to her channel. And even if you're not necessarily interested in lifting weights, maybe check some of those things out, and you'll see, like, it doesn't have to be this strenuous, over the top thing. You don't have to go to a gym. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. I have been working out this entire time from the comfort of my own home. The main reason I work out from home is, in the past, it didn't take much for me to deviate from my plan. So let's say I was getting up every morning at 6 o'clock and going to work out. The first time I would miss it for whatever reason, let's say I'm just tired, I don't feel like it, it's snowing outside or it's raining, that would give me an excuse to not do the workout. I know that I could potentially make excuses here, but those were definite reasons for me to get out of doing something. So doing everything from home, first of all, I'm not affected by anything going on outside. If I have a day where I'm just kind of lounging around, I can still get my workout in. Now, the times that I have not felt like it, because those days do come, I would tell myself, just do 5 minutes. And if you don't want to do any more, you don't have to, but at least you did something. So far, I have pushed through. And then with the last series, because those workouts were only 20 minutes, instead of giving myself that 5-minute prompt, I told myself, you know what? These workouts are only 20 minutes. You can do this. And I got them done. There have been several days over this past 38 weeks where I didn't feel like doing something, and I always did it. Now, there's one day that I didn't work out, and that was the day of the eclipse. I just didn't feel like it. But what felt great is that next day, just jumping right back into it. And I think that maybe it was some form of self-sabotage, because in the past, all it would take is missing one day for me to just be thrown off and not get back into the swing of things. The next day, I jumped right back into it. And I have to tell you, something that small, I felt this sense of accomplishment, like, oh gosh, I don't have to be all or nothing. Like, I got right back into it. Now, I wouldn't press my luck. If I get sick or something like that and I'm just physically unable to do it, then obviously I wouldn't be able to work out. But I'm saying, using reasons like I'm tired, or I just don't feel like it, or I'm in a mood, or whatever, it's non-negotiable. I'm not as rigid where it's like, okay, at this time I'm going to be doing this. And that's because I haven't felt like I needed those particular guardrails, because I've already gotten in my mind, I'm not going to miss a workout. Now I'm going to go over week 1 of the Compound and just kind of show you the workouts and the weights and stuff that I was using. So, okay, week 1, day 1, it was upper body. Neutral grip shoulder press, and I used 9 pounds. Close grip row, 17.6 pounds. Upright row, 9 pounds. Chest press, 15 pounds. lateral raise, 6 pounds, supinated grip row, 15 pounds. Day 2 was a lower body day. Started off with a B stance squat, and I did 17.6 pounds, 12 reps. RDLs, 17.6 pounds, 12 reps. 3/4 glute bridge, 25 pounds, 10 reps. And stair calves, 12 reps. We did 4 sets of those. On Wednesday, it was a core day, so just ab exercises, alternating leg extensions, hip raise, dead bug, alternating knee and tuck, and V-sit twist. Each of those were repeated twice before going on to the next one. Thursday was an upper body day, and that started with Y raise, 6 pounds, 3 sets of 12 reps, SA neutral grip, 17.6 pounds, and SA stands for single arm. So single arm neutral grip, 17.6 pounds, and I did 15 reps, 3 sets. Upright row, 6 pounds, 3 sets of 12 reps. Squeeze press, 20 pounds. The first set was 12 reps, the second set was 10 reps, and then my third set was 8 reps. Finally, we have the lateral raise, which was 6 pounds. The first set was 11 reps. The second and third sets were 12 reps. Then we finished with a single arm high row, which was 17.6 pounds, and 3 sets of 12 reps. Now finally, we're at Friday, and Friday was a lower body day. Close stance squat, 17.6 pounds, 10 reps, 4 sets. Stiff leg deadlift, 17.6 pounds, 8 reps, 4 sets. Single leg deadlift, 17.6 pounds, 8 reps, 4 sets. And finally, stair calves, 12 reps, 4 sets. Finally, we come to Saturday, which was another ab day. The exercises were butterfly crunch, reverse crunch to extension, crossbody reach, and rope climb. 2 sets of each exercise. That is the compound. I encourage you to find the form of movement that you enjoy, that you will be able to, on days that you don't feel like it, you'll be able to push yourself. If it's something that you absolutely hate, 9 times out of 10, when things get rough, you're not going to want to continue and you're not going to push yourself. If you're like me, that's not going to be something that motivates you when motivation is low. I wanted to mention again, my birthday was Friday, and my husband did a post on Facebook, and he had a bunch of different pictures of me, but I caught one of the pictures, which I'm going to show you, and I assumed that picture was from last year. It was about a week after I had my first injection. I had a conversation recently with Lorraine from the Downsized, and we were discussing how it's hard to look in the mirror and see these changes. And I know it probably sounds silly, but I still see, when I look in the mirror, the same person. When I see pictures side by side or videos, I can see the difference, but just looking in the mirror, I don't necessarily see that. I want to take a moment to revisit week 1 of the GLP-1 Empowered Living Program. Last week, we focused on clarifying what we want to achieve and why it's important to us. For me, that meant grounding myself in my why, which is to be healthy, strong, and present for my family, and staying intentional with my workouts, my meals, and my mindset. I have really loved seeing so many of you sharing your intentions in the community tab. It's amazing to see how committed you are to your journey. Now that we've set our intentions, it's time to build on them. Tomorrow, we'll start week 2, which is small changes, big impact. To keep the momentum going, I'll continue to share prompts in the community tab twice a day throughout the week. And I'd love for you to join the conversation, because you may not know it, but your insights inspire not only me, but our whole community. I want you to remember that no change is too small. It's the consistency that makes the biggest difference. Whether you're setting an intention, taking that first step, or building on the habits you've already started, you're moving in the right direction. Don't forget to check out the community tab tomorrow for your first week 2 prompt. And if you're able to, join us for the live stream, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to seeing you there. And until then, remember, we can share our journeys, but we should never compare them. Bye.